Hey guys, how y'all doing? This is my I got stopped out too soon video here, and I'm just going to run you through a little bit of a mistake. I dropped the ball a little bit on this one. So if we zoom right out, C-Gem is looking pretty tasty. The usual cookie cutter approach, the big drop on the 200 moving average, and the upturn, which is what I love for the explosive growth. But we do make mistakes, and I made a mistake here, I think. So it's a shame because I timed the entry almost to perfection. I got in, what did we get? 300 at 1073. So around here, so right at the bottom, so I was feeling pretty clever and a nice little pop there. You see the volume dropping off and then a big explosion around the, let's see, the volume is up here. Uh, 3 million. So we go from 779 to 3 million. And I'm feeling pretty clever at this point. That's how much of a increase in just a few days. 15% return, just not bad in 3 days. So I was not expecting this, and what I did was my stop loss. If I enter at 1073, I generally have like a 20% or a 10% stop loss. So we could say that's $1.70, so that would be $9. So it'd be sitting down here, stop loss initially. And when it popped up here, I moved it up to not far off break even, thinking it was not going to return. I drew this trend line in here, but it's come crashing down. And, it just now it is perhaps a mistake bringing that too close, but I'd still be in the trade if I left it at $9. But, if it's coming down here and dropping all the way through this trend line, it's not great. I mean, it's been respecting it all the way up here and suddenly it's dropping down on relatively decent volume. So it may bounce tomorrow. It may not. But I got stopped out, and this is how I sleep easy at night because I've got stops pretty close to break even, and I've only lost on this trade. What is it? Um, it's not much. It's like 3%, but that's 3% of my 3%. So I enter with actually I only put in about 1.5% of the total folio trade on this entry. My rules are that you only put 3% of your total folio into any one trade, but your stop loss is at 20%, which means it's 0.6, less than a percent of your total portfolio really risked on any one trade. So we lost 3%, but it was only 3% of what 1%, so we don't really care. And that's the sort of stop out. But this is not healthy anyway, to be honest. Look, I mean, things are looking good if you start breaking $13, but it's nowhere near that. It's way off the mark. It's $10. It's kind of consolidating here and it's not really doing anything. So let's get out. Let's get out of it. And maybe the stop loss is too much. It may bounce and explode tomorrow, but we don't live on hope, we live on strategy, and there's a million opportunities out there, and this one got stopped out, and we don't really care. In brighter news, let's see, what have we got? Boom. So IHRT, one of the stocks I mentioned in my previous videos, is looking pretty healthy and pretty nice. Had a little bit of a bounced off support there. So this is cool. Again, if we zoom out, the stock was trading at $1 billion 6 months ago, and it's had the classic 220 MA crossover, which we love. Noting here, buying the dip on the uptrend. So I'm feeling quite confident about the uptrend. And this ginormous, slow moving 200-day moving average has been crossed by the 20, and that's what we love. I mean, that's really, if you want to get it super early, that's kind of the entry point there. They had a miss on earnings, but somebody somewhere knows something. So 400, and then someone dropped 6.4 mil, about $12 million here. And that was kind of your entry trade. It's a very slow burn, but all of a sudden, bang, we've got a $24 million entry, 24 million purchased at around $3. So what, 75 mil, someone just casually drops. So this is looking good. I'm really liking this trade. I got in here 260 385, and I mean, it's a little bit lucky, but it's kind of doing nothing. This is a bit of a telltale sign. And then pop, away we go. And you're not buying more here. You're just watching what the breakout does. And inevitably, it's had a little bit of a pullback. This would be the spot, and I may well do it tonight. This is the spot where you might add more money because it's saying, hey, this is the support here. And I'm feeling like I might make my 1% the 3% now because I'm feeling quite confident in this trade. So that's something to note. IHRT is looking really good. I expect that to continue to grow like a mother. And in other news, VRCA looks like only 13% up overnight, which is kind of epic. And let's see. Yeah, so it's an interesting one. I managed to time it perfectly on the entry, so I waited for a little bit of a pullback and it popped straight after, and it's a little bit of a bounce back, and it said, hey, no, we're not going any lower, and the buyers have pushed it right up to 853, and so we're currently sitting on almost a 30% profit. And if you can rack up these 30% profits with 3% losses, you're looking very, very healthy indeed. But to get really excited about this trade, we want to see it popping out of the original breakout, which is $9. So if we can manage to muster some exciting moves above that, then it'll be a great time to be alive. That's all for today. See you soon, folks. Cheers, peace and love. Bye bye.